Morning, Trainiacs. I am shell-shocked. Did a race pace run in the pain cave with heat in the pain cave and hills. That did not go well. Now, follow that up with a swim with the high performance kids. I don't anticipate I'm gonna feel good after this. We got super interesting before and after viz, i.e. video, to look at where Brent and Ford, the guy that runs the Effortless Swimming YouTube channel, is comparing 1 year of progress with my swim stroke. It's really, really subtle changes, but he points out why I can't look at my swim stroke and be like, oh yeah, that is better. But he's able to look at it and be like, this is better. It's gonna be good. Way better than I'm gonna feel after the swim. That was a bloodbath. Did not go well. But you know who ran for 20 minutes?
This guy.
You remember a couple weeks ago when she said that her health goal for coming back from Lyme was to run for 20 minutes? 2 weeks. 1 week.
That's all it takes, I guess.
What's the next goal? Ironman.
No.
Get announced by Mike Riley before I do.
Unless they cancel the swimming part. No.
Ripper! Yeah! So, a year ago, I did a swim analysis where Brent, the guy that runs Effortless Swimming, go check it out, fantastic YouTube channel, he reviewed my swim stroke, put it up on his channel, and then we talked about, on my channel here, how I'm going to move forward. And it was largely Tower 26 workouts with Brent from Effortless Swimming's kind of guidance on what drills to do during warm-up that improved my swimming by about 7% in between June last year and January this year. So we thought that because that video went so well, everyone really liked it, I really enjoyed getting faster, we'd review where I've come from and where I'm at now, how to move forward. So I'll go through some of the big points that Brent identified, but I'll link to his full video, which is almost a half hour long, that includes all of the drills that I need to move forward at the end of the video. Now, the first thing that he identified and mentioned in the video is that my arm alignment is better.
From this top angle, there's two things that stand out to me. The first one is the alignment. This was something that we mentioned a little bit earlier. There was a little bit of a crossover. If we look at this before one up top, a little bit of a crossover on this left arm, on that before shot. On this after shot, you'll see that he's doing a better job. It stays just outside the line of the center, or the center line, which is good. Yeah, I don't mind if people come in a little bit towards that line, as long as it doesn't cross the center. That's really what we want to aim for.
So what was happening last year is with this hand, I was kind of reaching out and letting my hand go out. With this hand, there was a little bit of a crossover kind of into my head, and then I'd have to come back and pull it out. Now, what I've been working on with Jerry with Tower 26 is hand channel swimming. You want the edge of your head to the edge of your shoulder to be where your hand enters, pulls, and pushes through. So lots and lots of drills with that. The next thing that Brent identified is that my kick is closer to the surface. And that isn't what you'd think it would be. It's not about improving your kick.
Look how much higher that leg has come from the hip line, as in how much more it's lifted up above the hip line compared to the one at the top. So the point, it doesn't actually come above that hip line. So if we draw a straight line through here, that quad, or that top half of the leg, actually sits below it. But now you'll see here that he actually lifts up. He's working that up kick a bit more, and the heel comes out of the water a bit more. He's going to have so much more from that higher leg lift in the up kick because it just gives him a bit more room to then have an effective down kick. So he can essentially get more of a whip down with the foot and get a little bit more propulsion from it.
And that is 100% a result of all the Tower 26 work that we do with kick and kick and kick and kick. And it's not about improving your propulsion with the kick, it's about improving your body alignment. And that is something that Brent talked about in that video, that my body position and my stability is just way better as a result of that kick. And that was the next thing that he talked about, is that my stability is just better. I'm just not as jerky, I'm not as flopping around. Like, he says it fancier with his accent.
Because of this more effective kick, there's better stability through the stroke and it's not as jerky overall.
And the last thing that he described is how this hand has changed.
On a few of these strokes, he was going down too deep, and we saw this angle here that was 129 degrees. We want this to be roughly 100 to 120 in this phase of the stroke. So he was going down a little bit too deep, and from the side we saw that he was dropping the elbow a little bit through this part of the stroke. On this right hand side one, you'll see this is where the arm is on most of these pull throughs. So we're at 110, smack bang in the middle of that 100 to 120. That's really good on that top shot. So you can see the angle's 153. On this one, a little bit less so, 170. All right, so 153 compared to 170, which just indicates that there's a little bit less of a drop of the elbow, and that will just mean that this part of the arm is angled a little bit better to press back against the water compared to this one that was mostly pressing down, pressing back a little bit.
I want to show you some footage that I've got from Lucy Charles underwater. This is something that I took in Lanzarote when we were producing the How to Swim with Lucy Charles masterclass. And she has, I think, one of the most forceful catches and pull-throughs that I've ever seen. Granted, I'm a triathlete, not a swimmer, so take that with a grain of salt. So related to all that here, I've got some footage that I had of Lucy Charles back in Lanzarote when we were producing the How to Swim with Lucy Charles masterclass. And I think that she's got one of the best swim catches out there. Granted, I'm a triathlete, and triathletes aren't known for being awesome swimmers. Lucy is, so let's learn from her. I want to show you how powerful, look at that. So she enters the water and instantly her elbow pops up and she's got that nice vertical forearm. And what I want to show you here is, look right here, again on the other side, same thing, vertical forearm, but look at this from the side, because that's what makes a big difference here. So she enters here, that arm is vertical, and boom, right there, she has all that forearm and hand to act as surface area to push water back. Now look at what happens with the other arm, because we've got a good shot of something there. Elbow goes up, we got that vertical forearm, and that vertical forearm stays vertical all the way to her hip. So even right there, she has the entire hand and forearm, that surface area that is pushing water back right up until the point that she can't extend anymore without being vertical. But look, like it's pushing, 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 pushing. And now, right before her hand exits the water is when her palm finally isn't pushing water straight back. Basically, just as soon as she's about to exit. That's how you break course records. Now, how can I move forward, and what does Brent recommend for how I can swim as fast as Lucy Charles? Should just take a couple weeks, I bet. First thing, I got an issue with this arm here only when I breathe to the right.
This left arm, on the strokes that you don't breathe, so I think you might normally breathe to your right side. When you don't breathe to that right-hand side, if you look at this left arm, there's not really a thing that I'd be looking to change in terms of the catch with this arm here. So from here through to here, that is really, really good. Now, on the strokes where you do breathe to that side, it's just slightly different. So this angle with the arm, it's 147 roughly, and that's just down a little bit too deep, a little bit too straight. the ideal place that we want to eventually get to, and which you would be on those non-breathing strokes, would be about here, 105, maybe 110.
So what I've been doing with that is I've actually been working on some drills that Brent had in his video, and I'm also concentrating on, okay, when I'm breathing to the left, how does this arm feel? And then I'm thinking about, okay, simulating the exact same feeling as I'm breathing to the right. I wonder if any footage this morning actually showed if there was a change. We'll see. Next thing, right arm. Remember how I talked about how that was an improvement? Well, it's not all fine and dandy with that arm.
On that right-hand side, there's room to do two things. Reach out a little bit more in this phase of the stroke. Rotate the hips and the shoulders a little bit more. So essentially just think of reach and rotation. That is going to allow you to be stronger in that catch phase, get a little bit more distance with it as well, but it really just allows you to engage more of the muscles through the shoulder once you are sort of reached out a little bit more.
So I'm only working on one thing at a time right now. I think the highest return on investment I can get is making sure that this arm has the best propulsion that I can, evening that out, whether I'm breathing to the right or the left. So I'm not really focused on this so much and getting that reach and rotation, but I am trying to make sure that I'm just getting a little bit more rotation and not really focusing on too many things at one time. Related to that, he actually said that even though this arm has an improvement, it still has an issue that I had back last year.
The hand just goes a little bit too deep from here to here. So the hand is still traveling downwards or deeper from there to there. What I'd encourage you to do, or just sort of think about, is get that right hand to begin moving upwards towards the hips, so move shallower. So if you look at this path of the hand, gets to here, it's still just going down here, then it starts to come up. So out the back here, while you're definitely finishing better than you were, you're at full extension here, so it was getting a little bit stuck. So you're finishing better. It's still just a bit too deep through this last part of the stroke.
So again, on that, I'm not really focused on anything too terribly much with that, because really you can only focus on one thing at a time in like 2 to 3 month chunks. But when I start getting that more focus on the reach and rotation, I will largely be able to like set that arm a little bit higher, and hopefully that fixes it. But here's one of the big things that I can think about.
Increasing the stroke rate, and also being somewhat more, in a way, aggressive or assertive with the stroke, with the rotation. And there's an element there of, in some ways, kind of letting it go. So what I mean by that is when the hand comes over, you enter and you reach forwards. There's some control there, but there's also that point of just kind of letting things go, and you get this really nice flow and rhythm in the stroke. Now that comes with time and experience, and lots and lots of laps in the pool and time put into it. And you can already see some of this is really starting to come in very nicely in the stroke. And that's going to be one of the things that I believe is worth focusing on over the next 6 to 12 months.
So as far as that goes, when I start doing my race pace intervals, I'm just really thinking about like just letting it fly, because my technique, if I'm just like focused on the mechanics of good technique, I don't know if I'm going to be swimming that fast. But if I just let her fly and be aggressive with it, I imagine that my technique won't be too terribly off, and it's probably not going to be as different as I think it feels, but gradually it'll increase my stroke rate and just kind of get rid of that little bit of stiffness and kind of mechanical feeling that you might see my stroke have. So thanks to Brent from Effortless Swimming. I will say, go and take a look at his video right up here, where he discusses how I'm going to move forward, the full video that he's got, and then the video down here has last year's analysis. So you can compare the drills that I've got last year with the drills that I've got this year, apply them to you, see how they work. Thanks, Brent. I want to get another 7% faster next year. That'd be awesome. Later, Trainiacs.